Okay, so one of the things that you mentioned in your text was that you wanted to do more with like word art or something like that, creating more interesting text. So let me show you. You mentioned the Shout conference one. So I'll kind of show you how I came about doing something like that. So let's get some text going. Let's pretend we're doing our beach retreat flyer. Retreat. I know how to spell it. It's okay. Where's my mouse? There it is. Okay, let's go a little bit bigger. Whatever. Okay. So the way you would go about, so now this is cool, but if you wanted to give it some character, you could. So the way I go about doing that would be to do something like this. So I have, it's probably still on your computer, tons of graphics, just stock stuff. A lot of it's totally unusable in and of itself, but if you take it to use it as a texture or an element or something like that, it's totally useful. So, for instance, I have something like different, like these are probably in your folder, these different concrete textures. Here's one right here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So here's one, totally useless in a lot of ways, but if we use it to create an effect, it's super cool. So here we go. So we have this concrete texture. I'll duplicate the layer so we don't jack it up. Now to turn this into a texture that you could apply to something else, you want to get rid of the mid-level color. So the way you do that is you go to Image, go to Adjust, down to Levels. Click that. And it's going to give you this, this little graph here you could manipulate. So this is your dark tones, this is your light tones, this is your mid tones. And so what you want to do with this graphic is you want to bring the dark and light tones together and get rid of the mid tones. So the way you do that is by bringing the dark down somewhere, bring the white way up, and then adjusting the mid to kind of get rid of the the gray. You want to get close to just having black and white, and so keep as much character in there as you can without it going away. But you just want to get rid of a lot of the gray. So something like that, and this is kind of like season to flavor. This is preference. This is all personal preference right here. So this is kind of cool right here. Will work for me. Hit OK. Now I have the separate layer that's different than the original. And what I do is I just drag it right onto my artboard, get it to a more suitable size, and this can all change too later on. So Photoshop's super versatile. Okay, so we have this. We have our text. Okay. So the way that we get this texture to become part of this text is like this. Come over here to our tools, our toolbar. Right here you'll see there's this little magic wand. If it's not there, it'll probably be the quick select tool. Either one. Just click the bottom right of the box and hold so that you can get your the one that you want. And what you want is the magic wand tool. So you take that little tool over here, you pick a white space in your photo, and you click. And so you can see what happened is it has selected all of the white space in this photo. And you see why we want to get rid of the gray, because it didn't grab this stuff. So, but that's okay, it'll still work. Okay, so we can just hide that layer, but it's still selected. So selecting the text layer, coming down to our layer mask, just click and apply layer mask, and voila, now you have applied that texture to your text. Now the cool thing is, see how there's a little chain link right here? It means the text is locked to the layer. And what that means is you can move it and the texture is going to stay the same. Okay. But if you want to just adjust your texture within the text, you can unlink it, highlight make sure that you're grabbing onto the texture, not the lettering. See the difference? Grab that, and then you can move it, and then you can kind of get it the way that you want it. You're not stuck, right? You're not trapped. So, you know, like, oh, I like it right there or whatever. Okay, that's kind of cool. You know, so it gives you, you know, you can manipulate it the way you want. You can even resize it, right? You could bring it down and get more of that stuff in there, right? So, and then you can relink it, and now it moves wherever you want it to go. So that's the way you get that. Now, the cool thing is also when you apply a layer style to it, say you wanted to do a stroke. The stroke's going to literally fill in all of the space. It's going to actually put a line around every crevice, which may not be what you want. Or if you did a drop shadow, it's going to, oops. You can see that it is taken and applied that texture to even your effects. So if we go distance, see how the light would be shining through that. So you know what I mean. So it's a really cool way to go about of going about it. And then you can always just get rid of it if you don't like it. So anyway, that's how you apply that texture to your lettering. Also, you can do the same thing to your photo. So here we have this texture. If we blend it with our photo, you can have it be part of the texture of your photo if you want. So, you can do a lot with this thing. So now there you go, you have kind of this grungy, kind of whatever textury photo, and you've applied it across the board to everything, or not, whatever, it's up to you. So anyway, that's how you go about doing that as far as creating that character to the lettering. So you don't have to go off and find a font that has that. You can pick the font that you like and add it later on, right? So, and then you still have control over the font. So if you wanted to change the color, you still have that freedom to do that. So that's how you go about doing that. I hope that helps.